Agnosticism often feels like the safest place to stand. It avoids the heavy commitments of religion and steps back from the rigid certainty of atheism. Saying, "I don't know," feels like the ultimate intellectual high ground, but in basic logic, that middle ground vanishes. The law of excluded middle states that a thing either is or it isn't. Something exists or it does not exist. There is no third option. Think of it as a shift from 0 to 1. A score of 1 to 0 is proof that an event occurred to change the tally. You don't question if someone scored when the result is on the board. Since the universe is clearly in existence, it has already made that move from 0 to 1. That transition from non-existence to being is the evidence that an action occurred to cause it. Because the universe already happened, claiming we can't know if someone caused it is actually taking a side. When you linger in the middle, you are, perhaps without realizing it, actively leaning toward denial. A massive study led by Professor Justin L. Barrett at Oxford University looked at children across 20 different countries. They found that kids around the age of 3 naturally believe in a supernatural, all-knowing creator. This tendency to recognize a creator is an instinct embedded in our fitra, our inborn human nature. It appears as a natural baseline that precedes the influence of social conditioning. So if belief is our default setting, the agnostic stance is a learned deviation. To see why, we have to systematically examine and dismantle the 3 main claims that prop up the agnostic philosophy. Once we peel back the layers of learned skepticism, the human baseline universally points to an intelligent design. The first claim of agnosticism is that the human mind isn't capable of knowing a creator, so his existence simply cannot be known. We don't always need to comprehend the infinite to know it's there. You might not fully grasp the nature of electricity, but when you see the glowing light of a television screen, you know without a doubt that a power source exists. The Risale Nur collection offers a very clear logical inference. Since existence is real, it must have an explanation. Every living being that comes into the world must be the result of one of 4 possible causes. Option 1, atoms created the universe. But atoms came into existence later. Matter is blind and lifeless. It couldn't possibly bring itself into existence before it was even there to act. Option 2, everything happened on its own. This is a logical paradox. A mother cannot give birth to herself. Something finite and constantly changing cannot be the infinite source of its own creation. Option 3, the laws of nature did it. But a physical law is just a description of a pattern. A rule like stopping at a red light has no physical power to stop a car. Rules don't operate on their own. They require an enforcer. With the first 3 options logically impossible, a 4th becomes a rational necessity. An eternal, conscious creator brought everything into existence from nothing. This leads to the second agnostic claim. Nothing can be known for certain unless it is observed physically or tested scientifically. We break this rule every single day. No one has ever seen gravity in a microscope, yet we accept it through its effects. We experience justice, logic, love, and compassion, none of which are material, but all of which are entirely real to us. If you are walking on the beach and see a heart drawn in the sand, or if you dig up a simple fork from an ancient ruin, you immediately recognize intent. You know a conscious mind was at work. Our universe operates through biological systems and physical laws that far exceed the design of a simple tool. If we see intent in the fork, it follows that we should recognize it in the vast, interconnected systems of the world. God is not a material object. Expecting an infinite, timeless being to show up under the specific physical constraints of a human laboratory is a deep misunderstanding of what God is. Demanding strictly scientific observation for a non-physical truth is a self-imposed boundary. It guarantees you will never see the evidence of design that is already right in front of you. The final agnostic claim suggests that because we cannot be certain of God's existence, there is no consequence to ignoring religion. But death is a reality that will eventually knock on everyone's door. We all share an intense, natural desire for eternity and a deep fear of losing our loved ones forever. If smoke is pouring into your living room and someone tells you the house might be on fire, you don't sit back and say, maybe, maybe not. When the stakes are that high, Inaction is the most irrational response possible. Imagine a massive palace with 100 doors, offering absolute refuge from a terrible danger outside. To survive, you don't need every door to be open. You only need one open door to find safety. Islam provides thousands of open doors. From the profound fine-tuning of the cosmos to the scientific and historical miracles found in the Quran, the evidence is vast and deeply rooted. Lingering in the illusion of "I don't know" keeps you standing indefinitely at the threshold. Real intellect requires stepping forward and moving to where the mind and the heart finally align in Islam. Life passes in the blink of an eye. With the evidence laid out and the clock ticking, making a deliberate choice while you still can is the logical conclusion of the evidence we see every day.